Welcome to CIHT Podcasts.
As the world moves to electric cars, I wanted to explore the implications of this. One of the core ingredients to batteries is cobalt, so I wanted to look at the mining issues associated with this. This week there was the announcement that Tesla will buy cobalt from one of the largest miner of cobalt, Glencore. And this is to ensure supply for their gigafactories, for the Tesla gigafactories in China and in Germany. And cobalt is essential for lithium-ion batteries. It gives the longer range that is obviously in demand by customers. Although Tesla did want to move away from cobalt, this deal indicates that it is still an essential ingredient. So the interview was recorded back in March, just before the world went into lockdown due to COVID-19, and at that point there was no deal, just speculation that Tesla was in discussion with Glencore. Finally, I would add there is some controversy around about cobalt mining, and Glencore is one of only two mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo that is on the list of refiners certified by the Responsible Miners Initiative, a body that produces standards for responsible sourcing. And finally, Tesla has said it would only source cobalt through one of the firms that is on that list. I hope you find this interesting.
Okay, my name is Christophe Le Bec. I'm a French journalist. I work at Jeune Afrique, which is a francophone publication, the first weekly magazine in Africa. And I do cover the business news in Africa, and I do specifically cover the mining industry, the oil and gas industry. Yeah, as some of our readers do live in the DR Congo, I know a little bit about the cobalt industry that is used in the electrical vehicle, and that the DR Congo is producing 80% of the production in the world. You find cobalt with copper. So in the African copper belt, which is in the DR Congo and in Zambia, you have big copper mines, and usually in the minerals you find copper with cobalt. A few years ago, they have found that cobalt also can be useful and commercialized, and that's the reason why they started producing it along with copper, and that's it. Okay, so as you know, maybe 5-10 years ago, the electrical vehicle industry started to grow, and as cobalt is one of the main mineral needed to do the batteries, the industry started to wanted to secure the furnishing of that mineral. And since 80% of the cobalt produced in the world is in the DRC, they started to look into the DRC. So even the biggest automaker started to go by themselves in the DRC and trying to secure deals to get the cobalt. The biggest producer of cobalt in the past are Western companies like the Swiss Glencore or the American Freeport-McMoRan, and they were the one having the biggest copper mines and then copper and cobalt mines in the Katanga, that is in the south eastern Congo, and they were the ones selling the cobalt to the industry. To be a miner, an international miner present in DRC, you have to make deals with the Gécamine, which is a parastatal company. And you have to secure deals, and sometimes it's not very transparent. And some of those companies like Glencore have been very criticized because of the way they purchase the permits, the rights, with a friend of the president, Dan Gertler, and they are still under criticism for it. But still, they are the main producer of the cobalt. since China wanted to become one of the biggest producer of electrical vehicles, they started establishing Chinese battery producer, and those ones also wanted to get access to cobalt, and that's why Gécamines also started to make deals not only with Western producers but with Chinese producers, and for the last 5 years we have been seeing Chinese miners entering into the DRC to do copper and cobalt mining, like China Molybdenum, who purchased the mines of Tenke Fungurume in Katanga from Freeport-McMoRan. CNMC is another Chinese company, and those Chinese firms started to be more important in the cobalt production than before. The thing that when there was a lot of speculation about the cobalt, and the prices went up. The cobalt production is not big. It's rely 80% on the GR Congo. So there was the prices went up something like 200% 2 years ago. So a lot of interest, a lot of people wanted to invest in the industry. Few producer, a lot of inflation of the prices, and also around the big legal and industrial production center, a lot of artisanal miners started to invade the sites and trying to steal or to mine for themselves some of the cobalt and to sell it through illegal networks. However, the industry is trying to replace the cobalt by other type of minerals like nickel, with another component for electrical batteries, and also the prices collapsed. Not as much as it went up, but it collapsed, and then that's where we are. There is still a lot of need of cobalt. So there is a lack of traceability of that cobalt because some of it goes through illegal network. So the Chinese are having a bigger role in that industry than before. So we are going to see where it leads. I think that most of the deals between Gécamines, the parastatal company, and the Chinese are not very transparent, and it gives a lot of question about where the money goes, who is not always going to the Congolese, but it goes to the pockets of the government of the DR Congo, or to the Chinese pockets, or also to Western companies that secure strange deals. Tesla, as other big automakers, rely on cobalt and started trying to see if they can secure cobalt for themselves. And they sent some people over there. They didn't do direct deals, as no automaker could do direct deal with a miner, but they certainly have people who look at what's going on in the DR Congo. Remember that DR Congo is just going out of electoral crisis. There was an election last year with president elected in a contested election. To be elected, he had to secure a deal with ex-president Joseph Kabila. So it's still a bit shaky, and the mining industry in the DR Congo is the main pillar of the economy. It's something like 80% of the exports. You'll find the correct number. It comes from the mining industry, mostly from copper and also from cobalt. You also have coltan, which is a component of the cells inside your phones, the smartphones. So it's at the same time a very shaky country, but its economy is linked to the commodity markets on copper, on cobalt, on coltan. So you have to understand the political climate there to do business there, and to do it transparently is quite hectic, even if it can give jobs to the economy. We have seen some interesting development of big mining companies or trading companies that are buying not only to big industrial projects but to cooperative projects. So like the Swiss Trafigura is buying some cobalt from a new cooperative site in next to Kolwezi, still in Katanga. So we'll see how things are going. The good thing with cooperative projects is that it gives much more job to the local communities than the other one, and also it makes sure that the workers who are legal workers compared to illegal artisanal workers, those ones, they are best protected, and also they are less polluting the environment, so it can give jobs and also more protections to the environment and to the people. So let's see what's going on. I'm convinced that the mining industry can give jobs and can be done properly, even to protect the environment. There is less concern about the environment with cobalt than there is with gold, or because the chemical treatment is not as criticized by scientists and environmentalists. So I mean, on that, the main moral issue is more social than environmental, I think. Child labor is something that exists in the DR Congo and mostly exists in artisanal and often illegal mining. That is to say that families or the children themselves decide to go because they cannot survive without going in the mines, and when they live in rural areas, the only way to get some food is to go work in the mining industry as a artisanal miner. That issue of child workers is more on the coltan industry and cassiterite industry in Kivu, in eastern Congo, just next to Rwanda and Burundi, where you find the coltan, the cassiterite, and also where you find all the ex-leaders, guerrilleros from the conflicts of the Great Lakes. That is to say, the lake along the Lake Kivu, the Rwanda genocide, the Burundi civil war, the DR Congo civil war. They are all the belligerents, all the warriors. They are still living in that area, and artisanal mine is a way for them to get money, to recruit people, and sometimes they are the ones that are behind that mining industry, which is not the same as cobalt. Cobalt, you need to do cobalt, so you find it with copper. It's mixed with it, and you need industrial treatment, which is not the same with coltan when you can find it directly.